Welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Choosing Beggar Reddit video. In our first story, I don't understand why you just can't be nice about it. Let's jump right in. So this is an ongoing situation with my sister. For background, I'm a photographer and videographer, both as part of my day job and as a freelancer on the side. As a result, I own lots of very expensive gear that I take very good care of because A, it was expensive, and B, it makes me money. My sister has multiple times wanted me to lend her things to use or provide free services for her or her friends in exchange for tags on social media and stuff to add to my portfolio. First, it was a headshot session for her LinkedIn page since she's graduating college in a month or so. I said I would do it for cheap, to which she said that I should be thanking her for the chance to take her pictures and have them in my portfolio. Needless to say, that didn't happen. Then it came time for graduation photos. In a moment of probably undue kindness, I lent her and a friend several $1,000s worth of gear because they were going to do each other's photos. A couple weeks later, my parents decide they want family photos too. I ask them whether they expect me to do them. They say no, they're just going to do them with a phone. Yikes, I think, but whatever, not my decision. As we're leaving the house to do that, my sister asks my parents where my camera bag is, since I'm not carrying it, and she assumed I would be since I was apparently supposed to be doing a full photo session despite asking about it and being told otherwise. So, of course, I got roped into doing that. Recently, I spent some money on a GoPro and some kit for it, both to use when I'm mountain biking and when I'm shooting action sports and want a unique camera angle. Well, it just so happened that the day before it was delivered, my sister calls me and tells me I should invest in a GoPro. I made the mistake of telling her that I just bought one. Apparently, she and her boyfriend are planning on going to Mexico for a week over the summer, and of course, she tells me she wants to use the GoPro I just bought to take to Mexico. Her boyfriend also seemed really hyped about the idea, and he's a decent guy, so I didn't immediately say no like I probably should have. Since all the parts together don't fit in the little case the camera came in, I've decided that I want a Pelican case for all of that kit anyway. With that in mind, I tell her, okay, well, if you want to take it to Mexico, I want you to buy the hard case for it. I need one for it anyway, and since I use it for work, I don't want you to damage it. A pretty reasonable request, I thought. A case would be $60 to $80, and it's almost $1,000 worth of equipment that I'm letting her take for free. Camera, batteries, mount, storage, etc. Easy trade, right? Wrong. She laughs in my face and tells me quite matter-of-factly that she can rent a GoPro for less than the cost of a case, iffy at best. She tells me she doesn't understand why she has to pay for my stuff. Then, as she leaves the room, over her shoulder comes the line in the title. I don't understand why you can't just be nice about it. Story 2. Choosing Beggar shows up with less cash than what we agreed on. So I decided to sell my second car recently, as in the last 6 months I've driven it a total of 5 times, and that's just to keep the battery alive. The car is old and has a few minor cosmetic damages, a scratch here and there, but is overall a fantastic car. Being an old car and having little registration left, my father and I decided to put it on Facebook Marketplace for $1,800, knowing that people would offer less. We were happy to let it go for $1,500. Literally, a half an hour after the car was listed, a lady asked to come see it and asked if we would take $1,500. We agreed. The lady brought her father and brother to help her inspect the car, but the vibe my father and I got was they wanted the car but didn't want to pay. We pointed out every flaw with the car and explained any issue the car has had and how we had them fixed or fixed by ourselves, but the brother kept acting as if the car was on its last 2 legs, pointing out every scratch or little dent, saying, "We need to get this fixed straight away." They took a test drive. After the test drive, the lady finally offered $1,300. My dad instantly said no, and that we'd take no less than $1,500 as it's a great car. That's when things got weird. She started to fake cry. Imagine sobbing without the tears and saying that she has 5 kids and she needs the extra money to buy them Easter eggs. The brother starts saying his mate is a mechanic, so he knows what he's talking about, and that it needs some major work, and that no one would be interested at even looking at this old car. We would be the only ones willing to take it. My old man, being the smart cookie he is, pulls out his phone and shows them about 20 messages he received for people wanting to come look at the car, and says, "We'll gladly take $1,500, but no less. If you don't want it, we'll wait for someone who does." That's when they say that they only brought $1,300. My dad just says, "There's a service station with an ATM down the street. You can draw out cash from there. We'll wait for you if you want it, but we will not accept $1,300. So off they went with their tails between their legs to go get the rest of the money. Story number 3. I got a Choosing Beggar a job and she quit after 1 shift. This is more or less just happened and I'm so annoyed. I need to vent. I am currently at university in my 2nd year and living in a house with 4 housemates, including the Choosing Beggar. The 5 of us had already lived in an apartment in our 1st year of university with some others, so me and Choosing Beggar have known and lived with each other for about 1.5 years now. I currently work in a supermarket on the fruit and veg section, and all things considered, it's a solid part-time job for being at university. I get paid £10 an hour and I work on my own on the shop floor, meaning I can sneak the odd extra break here and there. I had only started there 1 year ago in my local store because of the pandemic, as I came back from uni and didn't want to do nothing for 4 months. Then, when I went back to uni, I transferred to the nearest store to where I live in Lincoln, which is about a 20-minute walk away. Now on to my flatmate, the Choosing Beggar. She left school in 2017, and since then, she has never had a job. While she was at uni, she was applying for every available job, from McDonald's to waitress to shop assistant, and she got nothing. So last week when a job came up in the supermarket, I suggested her to my manager, as she could start immediately and we needed somebody who could start quickly. Because I get along well with the manager, she was hired. Now the role that she was in was different to mine. She was a picker for the home delivery team, meaning her job was to go around the store and get the products for home delivery. Not the most exciting job, but it's a job that's decently paid. Today, she's come home after just the 1 shift to tell me that she quit because it wasn't enjoyable and she didn't like being on her feet for 5 hours a day, which would also be just once a week. I am fuming. They hired her on the merit of my recommendation, which makes me look bad. But not only that, the last 1.5 years we've been flatmates. She's been looking for a job, saying she needs the money and throws it all away because it wasn't that interesting. Amazing. Also, she's looking to do a postgraduate degree, meaning she's going to have an extra year in uni and she could have kept this job until then. She could have done what I do, which is go between stores depending on if I'm at uni or not. I am astounded that someone who has wanted and needed a job for ages would bin it off because it wasn't that fun. In our final story, a buddy of mine makes a plea against Choosing Beggars. Quick friendly hint, before you try negotiating an artisan down on their cost, be sure you know what you're talking about. For example, when I price a slab table at $800, that's because I'm taking into account the cost of raw materials of the slab, the raw materials and time it takes to fabricate custom legs, any consumable tools, glue, or sealer used on the project, and lastly, I'm accounting for the amount of time I spent working on the project. To be clear, I'm typically underselling because I'm still working on learning how to account for things like taxes and profit margins in my prices. It doesn't matter if you know a guy who can do the job faster. It doesn't matter if you know a place where you can get the slabs cheaper. When you offer me less than half my asking price for slab furniture, or any projects really, you are likely barely covering the cost of materials, which translates to you telling me you don't think my time is worth anything. If you found someone who can create a superior product for less money, go ahead and buy it from them. I don't think it's unreasonable to charge you the cost of the materials and time it takes to make the things you want to buy from me. This is John from /bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to be the first to know when the next one drops, subscribe and make sure you click on the notifications bell. We would love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.